In 1829, a new prison was built in Philadelphia to revolutionize the prison system. Rather than physically harming the prisoners, this system was designed to isolate them and make them reflect on their actions. Instead, it drove most to madness. And gradually, the prison's practices became more cruel, escalating to torturing the inmates. It's said that many spirits have been left behind there due to the darkness and dirt in this location. Let's explore the stories of the Eastern State Penitentiary. Welcome to Ghost Binkers. Pause for dramatic effect. Hello, Junior Binkers. I'm Trev, and I am desperately clinging on to any sort of belief in ghosts. And with me is Killian.
You did it. Ghosts are real. I believe in them now.
Oh, shit.
They're out there.
Just from me desperately clinging on.
Seeing you break meant that, like, oh, he's taking it seriously. So now I'm supporting you, and I believe that ghosts. I believe that you believe, so they must be real.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm just a good friend.
I'm cured. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Together, we are the Ghost Binkers, and on this podcast, we explore real-life spooky stories and joke the spooky credibility out of them. A light binking, so to speak. I muted the thing before I could hit the button. A light binking, so to speak.
Sorry, the guests at home can't hear the rippling feedback that came in, just rising from the depths.
To let you know that the sound was coming. So this episode is about the Eastern State Penitentiary, which apparently we're going to in a few days.
Yeah. At time of recording.
Time of recording, yeah. By the time this is out, like we will have been there and have talked about
back.
it for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah. If you tell it to us, we'll be like, what?
Yeah.
It'll be a month back and we can't remember that far.
Yeah, it's really hard to remember some of the things we've talked about. I did not actually expect to land here. This was not a planned, like, oh, we're going to the place. I'll like look up some ghost stuff about it.
Yeah, well, for sure it was.
No.
That's crazy.
So I just, in planning, I said, oh, we're going to Philly. Let me see what kind of Philly things are haunted.
Yeah, but that's what we did when we planned the trip to Philly. Like, you must have been like, oh, we're going to Philly? Let's look at haunted things. And you just forgot.
Yeah,
like a month passed and you just forgot what you would Google.
Yes.
I think the Google search you searched for this episode was purple. When you clicked and like
well, so I was originally going to do the Bellevue Hotel, but I could not find enough compelling.
That sounds like a Batman location also.
Bellevue?
Yeah.
I
like
could see
Bellevue
that.
Bellevue Hotel feels like a fucking it's like a fake city hotel name.
Yeah,
you know?
I could see that.
Master Bruce. Bane was spotted at the Bellevue Hotel. Thanks, Alfred.
He's going to blow up the Bellevue.
I'll be right there.
Yeah. Well, I was going to do that, but I couldn't find any like interesting stories about it.
Yeah.
And they said it was the most haunted hotel in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, hotels I feel like are the thing with hotels is that they're like when they're super haunted, people just report like mirrors falling off the walls.
Yeah.
Which is like also the sign of a shittily built hotel. I feel like it's hard to like, and it's also like, you know, someone's fucking so hard next door that they rattle the mirror off your wall. You know, it's
they're tearing it up in there.
It's an environment that's rife with hauntings because it's also rife with just people running around being slobs. You know?
I was gonna start this episode by telling you that I'm pissed the fuck off, but honestly, the time between me prepping this episode and now, I'm not really pissed.
And we're having fun. You can't still be mad.
I'm not.
We're goofing.
But I'll switch that to say that I'm extremely disappointed for two reasons. One, I'm very tired of claims that say this is the most haunted blank in blank. Because it's not. It's not.
Oh, okay. So I guess but there's got to be one in each blank.
There is, but like
I'm gonna be honest, the Ramtail Mill is probably the most haunted place in Foster because it's the only building in Foster, Rhode Island. You know, so it's like, there has to be some haunted. I do agree. It's a bit of like a best paper towels in town kind of thing, where it's like, okay, maybe
it's like, oh, this is the most haunted mill on this street in this block.
It sort of feels like they're like, what are you gonna go to everyone?
Yeah,
I don't think you are. I don't think you want to drive that far.
But like, I'm seeing a lot of things of like, this is the most haunted prison in the country. This is the most haunted boat in the country. And I feel like they can't all be.
I feel like also like Alcatraz has to be up there.
It's got to be up there. I'll explore that at some point.
If I were Alcatraz, and I wasn't being reopened to like house migrants that Trump hates, I would instead be suing the other places for saying they're the most haunted prison. But we live in a worse world than that, so
unfortunately.
I guess if I worked at Alcatraz right now, I'd be trying to ruin whatever we're doing at any moment.
So we mentioned at the time of recording we're going to be going to Philly with our wives. And,
Philadelphia.
I wanted Philadelphia.
For those at home, Philly is short for Philadelphia.
I really want to have a cheesesteak. But we're going to go to some places. One of them is this place.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm really pissed about, though, is that next week I was going to have us do spooky schools, haunted schools, because by the time that it comes out, it'll be back to school. It'll be back to school time. I was going to have us go to a single room 1800 school that is now a museum that like schools take kids to field trips on. I was excited to go back to this place and just set up a very minimal set and record an episode there. So I reached out.
You wanted to record an episode there on location?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I reached out and they did actually get back to me.
Yeah.
And this is the response I got. Hi, Trevor. Our school still has field trips with elementary school children that visit, so I hope you understand and respect that we do not want anyone interested with ghosts filming at or near the school. We do not want this to bring out more ghost hunting people, as we've experienced much negativity with it. So ghost hunters fucked them over so bad that they said no to people who are debunking ghost stories because they don't even want the word near their school.
Yeah, we're still doing an episode about them, so
we are.
Sorry, sweetie.
We are.
I'm actually gonna be meaner to the school now, just to give them a taste of it. No, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, you know, they should be fucking asking me to go there.
That's I try to make it clear.
If anyone's driving ghost people away, it's my personality for sure.
I try to make it clear we're here to like protect you guys, but
you're not.
Well,
I don't like you stealing my credit here. You know?
I mean, after reading that, I'm pretty fucking pissed at ghost people right now.
I think it is one of those things where like it's just easy to be disruptive in places like that. So whatever, if they just have a blanket, you know, no filming thing or whatever, you know.
Well, apparently it's a blanket no ghost filming.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, you know, you can't be mad about stuff, but you can be still anyway, and I'm gonna be.
Well, yeah. So I'm just all those ghost hunters out there who gave them a negative experience. I'm pissed at them, and I am actually I'm gonna lean harder into debunking for that story because I promised her I would do that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, we probably would have gotten there. There wouldn't have been any outlets. You would have you would have fucked up the cables. It would have been awful, you know. So
I had a plan for
now
that.
We can do it at home. Well, you know, you bring your battery's loud or some bullshit, you know. So you know, hey, we'll work around it.
It's fine. I'm not like mad that we can't film there. I'm more mad that like people ruined something for other people.
Yeah, people ruin things a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess the good thing is that the Eastern State Penitentiary still lets you visit there. Yeah. You know, they're not going to ban us. They're encouraging the ghost bullshit. You're either a huckster who loves ghosts or you're banning people from going in your establishment.
The Eastern State Penitentiary started out with good intentions. I'm going to say that with quotes.
It's very funny because, like, yeah, the thing they started out with was like, oh, well, put prisoners and isolate them so that they do better. And it's like the worst thing you could do for a human being.
Yeah.
Like, removing social contact from people is like the one thing that fucks them up faster than any other thing. And so it's very funny that their idea was not only wrong, but like exactly wrong. It's very rare to have an idea that is perfectly bad, and they really did.
It was the exact thing not to do.
Yeah. Honestly, it might have been better if they were like, oh, we'll make a prison where they all have to stick knives in each other's penises as torture, because like at least then you'd get to like talk to the people you're torturing.
Right, you're like, how does that feel? That feels as bad for you as it does for me, right?
Here it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go crazy in a room by myself.
Yeah, so they quote unquote started with good intentions. It was supposed to be innovative, new concepts, social change.
It was affiliated with like a church, right? It was like
I didn't see anything about a church.
For some reason I thought it was like you know, I don't know, Presbyterian or Pentecostal, some kind of like.
There is an organization that I'll mention a little bit later.
So there's some kind of like religious tie-in that was like the reason this came from this, like, I thought the priests, like, the reason they wanted you to do reflection was so you could like repent on your sins. Like you would do like godly reflection.
Yeah, that's kind of a part of it.
Yeah.
So obviously things kind of changed for the worse, and there were like riots and torture and murder, and that's why it's called.
I mean, that's
the
like,
most haunted prison in America.
You're supposed to go to prison when you do that stuff. So when you make the prison have that stuff, it feels like like the prisoners are just going to feel at home.
That's
like,
true.
oh, there's all the murder and torture I was doing is now in the prison. It's perfect.
So the building was designed and constructed by British architect John Haviland, and it was the most expensive structure built in the country at that time.
Never change, America.
I do think it's pretty funny that a British architect's name was John Haviland, because that is the most British Manifest Destiny name.
Avaland.
Havaland.
Don't mind if I do. Avaland, I think I will.
So, this was actually considered such an architectural wonder that Charles Dickens decided that he wanted to stop by for a visit. Like in Monopoly, when you go to the corner, but you're not in jail, you're just visiting. That was what Charles Dickens was doing. Following his visit to the prison in 1842, Charles Dickens wrote about the horrifying system, saying,
"The system there is rigid, strict, and hopeless, solitary confinement, tampering with the mysteries of the brain, and to be immeasurably worse than any torture of the body."
It's a pretty good Charles Dickens, I'll say.
Thank you.
I'll say it's a good Charles Dickens. I never heard him talk, but I'm sure it was like that.
What if he had like a really high-pitched voice where he's like, the system there is rigid and strict and hopeless.
The system's rigid and hopeless.
Oh,
no
man.
way. I can't believe it.
I'm gonna bust.
Hey, the system's rigid. He's got one of the two anime voices.
During the
It's also, sorry.
That's okay.
Jumping in. Shut the fuck up. No. I do like when something happens and you're like, oh, well, at the time. And then someone from the time is like, no, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like Charles Dickens, a person who was alive and went there and was like, oh, this will probably be good. Was like, this is not good.
This is horrible.
It's like, for all of you who know of Providence, Rhode Island, H.P. Lovecraft is from Providence.
Oh, yeah.
And like, there's a bunch of stories of him being really racist. And you're like, oh, well, it was like the 20s, so it's probably normal. And then everyone who knows him was like, no, that guy's wicked fucking racist. He is so fucking racist. And like, they'll be like, he's the most racist guy I've ever seen in my life. I don't know people could be that racist. And it's like, John Racist Man who runs the racist tax system. He's like, I don't let blacks live in the neighborhood, but H.P. Lovecraft is fucking racist.
That guy's so racist, he makes racist look not racist.
It's brutal.
So right off the bat, I gotta say, this prison sounds like a bunch of sadistic people who are pretending to care about prison reform.
Someone who owns a prison not caring about the prisoners? What the fuck?
During the 18th century in Pennsylvania, there was a lot of debate over how the prisons handled punishment for their inmates. In 1790, the Pennsylvania Prison Society, or PPS, was founded in response to the violent and brutal
Glad they have an acronym. Thank God they have an initialism or I wouldn't be able to fucking support them.
The brutal system of corporal punishment used throughout the country. The members of PPS recommended new measures for social reform, such as prisoner anonymity and solitary confinement. Benjamin Rush, who was a member of the PPS, believed that all prisoners should be in separate cells in a place of solitude and silence, allowing them to reflect on their crimes in the hope of leading to repentance. So that's the repentance point that you were talking about. He instructed that the separate rooms should have their own small courtyard that would help eliminate the ability for prisoners to come together and discuss plans to escape. So, first
that's such a complicated. Everyone has their own courtyard.
I know. Like
this sounds like an expensive fucking plan.
I mean,
and
I
also,
guess we're gonna see it soon.
But also, like, you want to prevent them from coming together and planning their escape.
Prisoners escaping prison was the biggest issue in the 1800s.
Like, I guess, okay, so it makes sense to me that people want to escape.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me to imagine a world where that, like, happens consistently. I feel like prison escapes don't really happen too much anymore.
I forget what country it is. I feel like it's like
Norway.
It's a Norse country where they're like, honestly, trying to escape from prison
doesn't add on to your sentence.
Not a crime.
They're like, oh, it's like a very natural thing to do.
Yeah, I respect that.
Which is funny.
I respect that. Now, if you commit a crime while escaping, different story. But trying to escape is not the crime. So, this is a question to you, Killian, and our junior and senior Binkers. Would it surprise you to know that this practice was criticized by many in the United States for its reliance on extreme isolation?
Honestly, yeah. I think it would. Honestly, I can't imagine an American society that cares about its citizens in any way.
Oh, damn.
To be honest.
Okay. Well,
an American society where people are concerned how people in prison are faring is actually genuinely a surprising concept to me, yeah.
Okay.
Considering we've gotten to the let's throw them to alligators on purpose part of our prison system, yeah, I'll take anything I can get. So yes, it's surprising, and I'm glad about it.
And would it surprise you also if I said it was also adopted by more than 300 prisons throughout the world?
That would not surprise me. I feel like that is like a business mindset. We're like, oh, every prison is using AI. we got to use AI.
Yeah.
The prisoners will, instead of buying books for the library, we'll just feed them fake articles from AI, and then they all go insane and kill each other. And we're like, whoops, whoopsie.
Oh.
And the AI told them all to kill each other. I didn't know.
The AI told them to jork their peanuts off.
The AI told them to self-suck and kill each other.
So the system was actually called the Pennsylvania system. So people across the world were using the Pennsylvania system.
The Pennsylvania Penitentiary System, the PPS.
The pen system.
The PPS.
The PPS.
The people are like, hey, you can't do that. Don't use that acronym. And they're like, sorry, it's already caught on.
Sorry.
In China, everyone's using the PPS.
So last question. If you guessed the last two things, which, you were surprised by the first one, but you were not surprised by the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Would you be surprised to find out that these practices did not remain in accordance with its original progressive and humane values?
Oh, that's a trick question because I don't think the values were good originally. so no, it wouldn't surprise me that it got worse, but also I don't think it was ever good to begin with, so it's tough. I have here in my notes, I'm not too sure about the humane part. Yeah, I'm still confused by the courtyard system. Like, a big part of a system is somehow giving everyone outside access, but not knowing where you can communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Which to me feels like you have to be some kind of like weird jigsaw light from the ceiling structure.
I was going to say, maybe it's just like open ceilings or something.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we will find out.
Or they're leaning out their windows like the baker in Beauty and the Beast, and they're like, hey, toots, I'm going to escape soon.
I'll see you in 2 to 4 months.
And another prisoner's leaning. He's doing this outside the window looking at him.
Later, the prison incorporated punishment that was more in line with the system the PPS had tried so hard to move away from. So they were like, why don't we switch it up here?
Oh.
And then they were like, whoops, we did the same thing.
I was going to say, I don't know enough about how prisons were like at the time, but it sounds like that you would just whack the shit out of the prisoners.
Yeah,
and they made you mad.
It was like pretty physically
beat the shit out of them. Yeah.
And then they were like,
well, it's a good thing we don't do that anymore.
They were like, fellas, let's tone it down.
Let's make them go insane instead.
We don't have to physically harm them.
They can harm themselves when we torture them to the brink of insanity by leaving them alone for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Put a guy in a room for 20 years with a weird courtyard that makes no sense.
That he can't even comprehend, and seeing it.
He'll do the beatings for you.
There are many reasons why so many dark entities are drawn to this historic prison. We're in the ghost part now.
Yeah, no, really?
in case you couldn't tell.
Did you
guess that we're in the ghost part?
I thought you were using a really inappropriate term for people of color.
Oh, dark entities.
I was like, I know the prison system's fucked up, but I don't think anyone was saying that at that time.
That's not appropriate. Spirits are more likely to cling to places where tragic death and torture once occurred. And at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Hold on. We added torture in. I guess, man.
Yeah.
That's a new one. Torturing makes ghosts now?
I would think so.
No, I get like that it's tragic and scary, but like just torture creates ghosts. I think the tragic deaths do, but the torture feels like a weird one to me.
I think torture fractures your soul and leaves a piece of you behind.
Oh, interesting. Anything that leaves you alive making a ghost is sort of interesting to me.
That's
because
fair.
You could torture someone and they don't die, and then they could like go on to live their life afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's weird to me that like the torture could create a ghost without like a body being found.
Yeah, that is a fair consideration. I do think it must have to do with something about leaving a piece of your soul behind.
It's certainly stressful enough where it makes sense to me, but like the not death thing is confusing.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you a piece of your soul inhabits an object, and it's called a talisman.
Never heard of it.
I was gonna say Horcrux, but I wanted to subvert your expectations.
A what?
Horcrux.
Oh, no, sorry, I've never heard of that. What is that?
It's kind of like a talisman. At Eastern State Penitentiary, there was no shortage of torture while the prison was operational. The harsh realities faced by so many of the prisoners would be enough to cause any spirit to seek vengeance in the afterlife. So this theory is basically like there's so much dark happenings that a lot of these people, when they died, just kind of stuck around. I am Ghost Binker coining this as what I'm going to call the sticky ghost.
Okay, I don't like that. So I'm gonna ask you to kind of think of a new one while we're talking. But so that explains the torture thing then. So as you get tortured, your soul gets pissed.
Yeah.
And when you die, your soul is like, I gotta get back at those people.
Yeah.
Again, I don't really understand what happens after like the guy retires. the guy,
or that guy dies.
So you
can't get back at him.
You throw a lamp at the priest who tried to cut your balls off in the prison or whatever, right? Totally legitimate. I understand. I would do the same thing. Mm-hmm. The priest quits. He gets a new job somewhere else, and then you're like, all right, well, I guess I'll keep throwing lamps around. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else am I gonna do?
Well, because I think the idea is like maybe he'll come back.
He can't though. He's dead. He's dead too.
And that is why ghosts stick around so much longer.
So
some of them have unfinished business forever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really get
the unfinished business.
What they hope to finish. Because they don't know, but they want to do the thing, but the thing can't be done, really.
And also,
it's confusing to me that maybe that's supposed to make it more real because it's that's annoying, and annoying things tend to happen in life. But it just feels strange to me that you would come back to something that you could never do, and your sole purpose is to do that thing.
And also, just adding on the Ghost Binker fact that ghosts can't learn new things. So
that is something we said.
If you do it, you can't learn new things, so you don't even know you did it. So then what?
Sort of ghost memento. You gotta write it down somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Facing as many as 23 hours a day in isolation was believed to have driven the prisoners mad.
That was a weird sentence, but essentially 23 hours of isolation.
That feels to me like they do a whole day, right? It feels crazy to me to be like, why?
Well,
I'm not trying to give ideas to the torturers. Why draw the line at 23? Just leave them in there for the whole fucking day.
Well, you gotta give them a lunch break.
No, but you don't. You're doing 23 hours of torture. You might as well just go 24.
Or the torturer needs a lunch break or something.
Yeah, it just feels
the way
strange
scheduling works, they're a little short staffed, so there's a 1 hour gap where the person who's coming in isn't there as the person's leaving.
I guess I just doubt that it was up to 23. I feel like it was probably up to a full day.
Probably.
I feel like it was probably more, but I mean, I feel like there were lots of periods.
Or maybe that's the average length of sessions. Because maybe some went to
up 40. To means, man.
Some of them were 48.
Yeah. One guy in the prison's in there for 30 seconds. Everyone else is in there for 100 days. He's like, wow,
that's 23 hours on average.
This is a really tough experience.
So that drove the prisoners mad, putting them in a worse mental state than they were in before they arrived.
Which kind of defeats the purpose of rehabilitation.
The rapist murderer is somehow worse off than when he went in there.
They were even deprived of talking to the guards, causing many to end up deliriously talking to themselves and facing harsh punishments as a result.
It feels like an obvious oversight.
I
also don't necessarily know you want to talk to the guards, but I agree that the social isolation is tough.
It's a weird self-feeding cycle though, because it causes you to talk to yourself, and then they punish you for talking, but then the punishment makes you mad that you just have to talk to yourself again.
That's kind of how prison works, man. That's kind of the whole thing, is them tricking you into
breaking the rules.
So you owe them $10 more and they can make you work for 6 more months,
No.
The painful misery created by the isolation and torture can still be felt within the prison walls.
I like painless misery, personally.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But why is this prison considered to be one of the most haunted places in America? The answer could lie in the different forms of torture guards used to punish the prisoners.
No. It lies in the ghost part of it. I don't care what causes it. I'm not what will make it the most haunted if I know that the setting was right before. The hauntings are what are going to make it the most haunted.
Yeah, the amount of ghosts.
You could have the worst ghost creation system, but if you ain't got ghosts, you ain't haunted.
That's true. Now, does that mean you're not interested in hearing about the different torture methods that they used?
I'm kind of not, but you're gonna tell me.
The first one is called the ice bath.
Yeah.
Guards would throw ice-cold water on prisoners as they sat in a chair before chaining them to an exterior wall of the prison during winter. They would remain there until all the moisture on their skin turned to ice.
That's great, man.
That's so ridiculous.
That's awesome.
That's so wacky and whimsical.
That's so whimsical, I'd say, yeah.
The mad chair.
Yeah, giving people frostbite is really whimsical.
The mad chair. Prisoners would be tightly strapped to a restraining chair for hours or even days, resulting in painful swelling in their limbs that had turned blue or black from the lack of circulation. In a similar form of torture, it was also very common for prisoners to be placed in a straitjacket until they started losing circulation throughout their bodies.
And this is supposed
Is that also whimsical, bud? Think that one's cute too?
Yeah, it's to teach them a lesson, that they're not going to do it again after that.
Yeah, surely not.
The Hole.
I wonder what this one is.
Also known as Klondike. I don't know why. What would you do for a Klondike?
Is that like a place in Alaska too, or a mountain
I think
range?
so, yeah. Ooh, this is clickable. I can click on it. Oh, resource not found.
Jeez.
Never mind. Okay. I forgot to mention that
Old ass website.
I forgot to mention the webpage that we're reading all this from is usghostadventures.com. This area, deep below cell block 14, had a 6-foot ceiling and 4 small isolated cells. These cell blocks were made from reinforced concrete instead of stone. They were very square, windowless, and without any light or plumbing. This form of isolation was not intended to encourage redemption, but strictly to serve as punishment. The most vicious criminals at the prison were placed in the hole for days or even months at a time for bad behavior.
It sounds awful, for the record.
Yeah.
They're talking about like
No plumbing.
just basically getting. The plumbing is the least of your concern. You're getting baked to death, basically, inside a 150-degree box.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of just like a concrete block.
The
that you're
temperatures,
inside
the
of.
temperatures in the Klondike rose to more than 150 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow. The last one that is notable is, and by notable I mean that's listed in the article, is the iron gag. The most common and most harrowing form of punishment at the penitentiary was the iron gag. For this torture, the prisoner would have their hands crossed behind their neck. The iron gag device would be placed on their tongue, with chains connecting it to their hands. Any movement the prisoner would make using their hands would pull and tear at their tongue, resulting in excruciating pain.
That I can't even imagine what that is.
Yeah, so they're they have their hands behind them and they're crossed, and then they're.
I can't imagine what the tongue device looks like.
Oh, like to clamp onto their tongue?
like is it clamps? Is it spikes?
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
really hard for me to pick because I'm like. I was picturing like a little handcuff but it would fall. It would fall off. So it has to be something with like grip or grab or spikes or.
I'm picturing like
clamping.
clamps
What
or
a
something.
dickhead thing to do.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
But like also, where were they getting this device from?
This is like the peak of U.S. manufacturing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they were like, 50 new iron gags came in from the office today, boys.
They're really they have a whole factory for this. Probably.
Dave, go and pack the shipment of iron gags that came in.
Maybe they're getting them from the Ramtail Mill.
WB Mason is sending fucking iron gags in with printer paper and iron gags.
Oh, boss, we're out of iron gags.
They sent us 2 boxes of printer paper and no boxes of iron gags.
I'm gonna quickly just list off some of the notable inmates that were there, but I'm not gonna deep dive into them. If you want to learn more about them, I'll link the article.
Go to the Famous Inmates podcast.
Go to the Famous Inmates podcast. Yeah,
our spinoff podcast.
It's just ours.
Martha Stewart, whoever these guys are.
So Al Capone was in there for a while.
I was actually gonna say him.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe I've heard this before.
Yeah. So he was in there for a while, and there was a ghost that haunted him while he was in there.
Shut the fuck up.
But it didn't even originate from this prison, so I'm not.
He had syphilis. He was going crazy.
He did have syphilis.
He was left alone in a room with syphilis for 8 months. I'd see ghosts too, brother.
So Al Capone was in there. Slick Willie Sutton. Which Slick Willie is a dirty name.
Yeah.
That's a nasty name.
Yeah, I know.
Willie Sutton.
That guy is not allowed around society.
That's why he's in the prison.
Is any of us supposed to? Are we supposed to know who he is? Maybe the listeners at home. Maybe
there's information on him, but again, go to the Notable Inmates podcast if you want to learn more about him. Victor Babe Andrioli. He's Italian.
Is that a Sopranos character?
Probably. And then Frida Frost, who was the last female inmate. Very cool supervillain name, Frida Frost.
I was gonna say it does feel like some of the Flash fights, you know.
Deep within the dark areas of Eastern State, you will find something that isn't quite human anymore. There is a certain obscurity that awaits those who dare to visit this haunted penitentiary.
That's us. We're gonna visit. We're gonna be there.
The souls.
A certain obscurity?
that awaits those who dare to visit the penitentiary.
Okay. Whatever. We're moving past this sentence, frankly.
The souls of those who were tortured there are now stuck there for eternity, seeking revenge on those who made their last days on Earth miserable and unbearable.
Is that not annoying to people out there? My ghost believing friends.
Yes.
Doesn't that frustrate you that someone could torture you, and then instead of getting to like finally find peace and rest, your ghost just has to bang a cup off the walls of this place while two intrepid podcast hosts try and film some shit with their TikTok cameras, you know?
Yeah, no.
While you have to just scream and whisper things in words I can't hear while I just play Masume on my phone and try and collect the best horse girls I can.
Also,
You're trying to get through to me, and I'm staring at a TikTok, and not paying attention.
They're influencing whatever you get in the game to like try to get your attention.
But like I'm too used to bad luck in those games. Like it can't be. I'm like, yeah, it's a bad run.
That is really like the worst hand you could be dealt. And then on top of it, you have people coming to like bother you to try to like just ask you about how you died.
I know. Yeah, they have no clue what they're doing.
Ask you about the most traumatic thing that's ever happened.
They're calling you 9 names and none of them are your name. Frida Frost, is that you? And you're like, she didn't even die here.
She's not even here.
She got here so late they didn't even torture her.
She was barely here. She like stopped in.
They tortured me for 15 years. They left Frida alone. Fucking asshole.
There are many haunting tales from those who visit the location today about seeing apparitions or hearing strange voices. It has been commonly reported over the years that you can see a figure standing in one of the old guard towers. Some believe it is the spirit of a former guard who feels it's still his responsibility to stand watch over the prison walls.
He's got to keep the prison ghosts in the ghost prison.
I say this about every kind of ghost. The one ghost I really can't stand is like the guy who keeps doing his job. And it's like, why were you so... First of all, you need to take a vacation. You cannot be so attached to your job that you're like, okay, I'm dead. It's time to clock in, baby.
Yeah.
time to go hit my punch card.
Another day, another dollar.
You know, Peleg with his fucking lantern at like 12:15. Like, why are you doing your job?
That's true. You're a ghost. You can do whatever you want now.
Also, does the ghost Does the ghost take vacation days?
Definitely.
You're like, oh, if you go there August 2nd to August 15th, the guard ghost is on vacation. He goes off the Poconos with his kids or whatever.
I guess it depends on like how the ghost experiences time. Does he get one day that he relives every day, or is he getting a full year? In which case, maybe he will take some vacation.
Yeah. I don't think anyone can answer that question, unfortunately.
And also due to spectral drift.
He's guarding a nearby tree.
Eventually,
in a month.
Yeah. And there's also spectral time drift.
Yeah.
Because I don't think ghosts experience leap years unless they die on a leap year.
He actually clocks out like 8 minutes early, and if you point it out, the ghost will like disappear forever.
Oh, because that's how
he still thinks it's 12, but he's on like a different atomic clock or whatever.
There is one particular spirit who has been seen lurking through the older sections of the prison by many visitors.
Oh, they get a lurker.
It is the shadow of a man who seems to be looking for a way out.
And that's why that guard is still there, because he's got to make sure that shadow man never gets out.
Yeah, he's trying to whisper through his own private courtyard.
He's like, help me. Here, take this.
I got to see what these private courtyards look like. They're
I know,
distracting
yeah.
me. So that's all he does is he just tries to escape.
He's just looking for a way out.
Can't he just use the door when someone opens it? Easiest ghost mission of all time. Wait for someone to open the front door to let a tour group in and just walk out.
I'm wondering.
I can't stop a shadow from walking out.
Maybe the ghost doors are still closed when you open your door. I don't know.
Yeah, why is he a shadow also? Why are ghosts shadows sometimes?
That definitely comes from darker energies. The torture definitely created a lot of shadows.
Are
people.
When the sun hits trees, are they dark tree energies?
Well, that's just science.
Okay. When it hits a person, it's a different kind of shadow. It's a malevolent sort of thing.
When someone ghostifies and they have a lot of dark energy inside of them, it's possible for them to turn into a shadow.
Me hitting this ghost with a flashlight, turning into fucking dust.
Oh yeah.
No, that makes sense. That it's dark energies. It's definitely not just the fact that like shadows are kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know.
Dark energy.
It's definitely
Thank
dark
you for
energies.
understanding the theory.
It's definitely not people literally being scared of their own shadow. It's definitely dark energy.
So allegedly,
allegedly. I love when you use allegedly. Like in a court of law, I don't want to admit that this ghost might not be real.
Allegedly, the most haunted cell blocks are cell block 12, 4, and 6. I don't know why they listed them in that order. I'm thinking maybe it's in like reverse order of like hauntedness or something. I don't know, but those are the top 3.
No, it's the classic inside out sort of outside in order, you know? You surround the 6 and come back to it.
Those are the big 3. So cell block 12 is one haunted site on the premises that is often brought up by haunting experts. There have been multiple reports from people hearing echoing voices, strange cackling in the darkness, and seeing the apparition of shadowy figures. Lots of shadow figures in this place. Others have claimed to hear disembodied voices, creepy whispers, and an overwhelming feeling of dread while there. It is a popular spot for curious investigators to visit while touring the penitentiary. Some videos captured there have shown the apparition of a man walking through the cell block. And let me just bring that video up. Whoops, they seem to have forgot to link it. So don't worry. I found one.
Okay, I was saying, I'm sure there's tons of really convincing video out there.
And I will link it in the spooky specimens, but Killian,
yeah, we get to play fake video or not interesting. my favorite game of all time. YouTube prank or extremely boring.
I would say maybe it's a little bit of both.
Oh, VLC media player cooking.
Oh yeah, we love VLC out here.
Oh wow, right there on the left. She's standing there.
No, it's actually on the right.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna play this now. Killian is live reacting to it. Did you see it? You saw it, right?
That's a shadow man walking towards the camera.
Wait, I gotta see if I can even see it. Yeah, honestly, it just
looks like a hair on the lens or something, you know?
It literally is. It just looks like camera artifacts.
Yeah, it just looks like something clipped.
Because
my guess is like a bug or a hair or something that like moved across the camera, and the camera thought it was this thing moving and kind of like it just pulled across slowly.
Unfortunately, the only source of that video I could find was 360p, which is like I don't even know how to quantify that in comparison to HD. It's very tiny.
Yeah. It's not good.
It's very low resolution. It's like it's like the third worst resolution you can get on YouTube.
I mean, it's what, like a fourth of the pixels of 720p or whatever. It's like not.
It's awful. So I gotta honestly say that was the only video I could find. So hopefully they were talking about a different one.
No, I think it's like literally videos like that every time. I think the shadow guys are. I'm always curious, like, I don't know. People see them in person, and then you try and video them, and it's like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I guess that
you can't video a shadow guy.
Well, that's the thing is like people will say, oh, you have to see it in person because it's a different thing. But then like,
but I probably never will.
I think you saw a shadow also.
And
got a sneaking suspicion you saw a shadow.
Though I am legally obligated to believe in shadow people, I am winking right now because this shadow person is more believable. More wink wink believable than other shadow people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Help me. I'm not allowed to say I don't believe in the shadow people.
Oh, okay. Because you saw one, or because do you have a shadow person in your life? Is that what happened? Or
I did. I did have one, but not anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I had what I thought were full ghosts, but I was just like a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I had a bad dream. And I went to school. I read books or whatever.
You educated yourself.
I just continued living. I mean, if tomorrow if I see a ghost, I got to do my taxes before April. You know what I mean? Like that's all the same. You know, it's kind of how it goes.
Change anything.
So but yeah, the shadow people are just tough for me because it's like.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't really get why ghosts would be a shadow.
It's the dark energy.
You keep saying that. Because it's literally darker than me doesn't mean it's dark energy. It's just a fucking shadow.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Maybe the light ghost orbs are created by dark energy.
Yeah, but the real thing is that I think shadows are trickier than people think. And particularly like low light shadows people have trouble with. People think once it's kind of dark that there's no shadows.
Yeah.
But there's like just as many shadows because like
there's still light sources.
Any amount of light will create shadows, and then like when light diffuses across surfaces, it changes how shadows go, and so you'll see shadows, especially in big weird buildings you've never been in before.
Yeah.
With, maybe perhaps a confusing layout. like individual courtyards for every prisoner to not escape from. Like it creates like I think more room for shadows you're not used to seeing to spook you. And also, you know, you're scared. It's a big prison, and you have the mental fortitude of a toddler.
Of me.
You're jumping around. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah. If you can see anything at all, then there is some light. And if there is some light, then there has to be some shadow.
Yeah.
That is just the rules.
I mean, honestly, I think I speak for all our viewers when I say that hopefully when we go there, a ghost will rip me in half. And you'll have a video of it appearing, ripping me in half, saying some satanic shit.
I hope for the sake of our friendship that it rips you in half in a way that you can survive with a full body still.
And then it looks in the camera and it's like, I'm doing this to get back at the torturers who tortured me. And then it gives you a date and you can verify it with a person who had lived there. You're like, oh my God,
shit.
he was there.
My name is John Hamilton.
Worst case scenario is we go there and you think something pulled on you. And then I have to cover up the fact that it was me for 20 years, you know, making fun of you.
Yeah. I am going to get scared going there.
I'm going to have donuts. In Philadelphia, I've decided I'm gonna have a donut.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Can I have one?
No. Yeah. Sure.
Thanks. Cell block 4.
You had to pay for it.
That's fine. I'll pay for the donut.
You gotta pay for I can't just do it for free.
Cell block 4. Those who visit cell block 4 have claimed to see chilling visions of ghostly faces that appear to be deeply tormented. Some have said these faces beckon them. These faces.
I imagine
them.
have you ever played Devil May Cry?
No.
Oh, fuck. Well, to our one listener who's like me, do you collect like the orbs, and the orbs are like, it'll be like red orbs, and they go like,
they make like,
and it'll be like blue orbs, and they're like, and it's like all these just weird faces of the orbs, and so I imagine that like it's just those popping up. Someone's just killing a demon and getting experience, and they had no idea.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
For any of our listener, if this doesn't make it into the video clips, Killian was making like different screaming faces.
Oh yeah. Look, that was for TikTok. Everybody,
that
I'm
was
sorry.
for TikTok.
You know?
Yeah. So
I also, I just realized that if I see my face making this face, I'm gonna puke and want to die.
Okay, so it probably won't make the clips. In which case, Killian was making some screaming faces.
Yeah. Google Devil May Cry red orbs.
Yeah,
and you'll see what I mean.
And that's exactly the face Killian was making.
Yeah.
Some have said these faces beckon
6
to get a
beckon screaming spirits
to get a closer look.
Oh, that's a new sentence. Sorry.
Some have said these faces beckon them over to get a closer look.
Come here. I'm curious how visible the vision is these people had. That makes sense.
Yeah. Especially if it's dark.
Because at night, I just see faces sometimes.
Which, like, I guess...
A lot of this podcast is me revealing that I'm kind of, like, tortured by all this stuff, and I've just ignored it, and so I'm fine now.
That's why you hate it so much.
That's why I just don't believe it. It's because it's like, yeah, when you have night terrors all the time, it's like, yeah, it's a night terror.
You're going to find out in, like, 40 years that you did actually just have a demon
getting
attached
clobbered
to
by
you.
ghosts constantly.
And you're like, no, that's just how it is.
I get to heaven, and God's like, you were getting blasted down there. Are you good? I'm like, what do you mean, am I good? He's like, you thought that's how you were supposed to sleep? You shouldn't even have bad dreams. You should be living life. And I was like, oh no, I thought
I was trying to send you stuff. They were blocking it.
They were knocking you over. You just thought you were tripping the whole time? I'm like, yeah, I'm clumsy. I don't know. There was rocks in the ground. What about the lamp? I'm like, I thought it just fell over.
I sent you an angel. They convinced the angel to turn on you and become with them.
Along with the macabre images, people have also reported hearing strange noises while in this cell block, as well as feeling a sense of unease and being unwelcome there.
I almost made a self-sucking sound, and I thought better of it. But that was the strange sound they hear in the cell block. Just a little fucking little nasty ass top you're giving yourself.
I'm definitely not gonna clip that sound.
They're like, I've never heard that sound before. their adolescent son's like, yeah, me neither, Mom.
One of the most frequently shared tales about this haunted cell block is the encounter experienced by locksmith Gary Johnson.
Gary has the most normal name we have ever encountered.
Johnson was hired to renovate part of the cell block and replace all of the locks. While removing one of the locks, he suddenly felt overpowered by an unseen force.
What year did this happen?
It's unspecified.
Okay, because my brain was assuming like now, like during ghost tour years.
Me too, yeah.
And I was like, I don't think they need to worry about the locks if they're renovating a prison they just give tours in.
Yeah.
Like I think it's fine.
Boy, we gotta be able to
They
lock
gotta make sure they lock for the effect.
We actually leave them in there for 24 hours.
Up to 23, not 24, Becky. I've told you this before. You gotta let them out for an hour a day.
It's their lunch break.
Otherwise, they'll go crazy in their own miniature courtyard.
He could feel the presence of someone watching him. However, when he looked up and down the cell block, there was no one else there. He stated that he could feel the negative energy pouring out of the cell as he saw distorted faces in agonizing pain lining up on the walls.
So much energy is being felt these days.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta, as a populace, gotta feel less energy in the world.
More. We gotta feel more energy.
I feel like these people like won't know when their partner's cheating on them, but they're like, oh, I felt so much energy in that ghost room. And it's like, you didn't feel that your dude was texting other girls
Do you think
for months?
that's the energy they're feeling and they're in denial? So they're just trying to like find a different reason?
Their boyfriend is fingering a waitress at Applebee's, and they're like, wow, this place has ghosts, I think.
Yeah, well, it's the ghost of that cum. That's the name of this episode.
The ghost of that cum. We gotta not mention cum for an episode.
I know, yeah, it's really hard.
it's too
Cum, self-sucking.
It's just such a honestly, self-sucking is such a ghastly behavior that it's so ghostly.
It's also been said that he saw a shadowy figure leap out at him from across the cell block.
Leaped out at him?
this this shadowy figure is trying to jump scare people.
I mean,
That's very uncharacteristic of
yeah.
shadow figures. They usually try to stay away, you know? They track you from afar.
Is that true?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Yeah, it sounded true. And he saw the faces too.
Yeah, he saw the face.
So that makes me feel like it's not like while the prison was operable. Because it would be funny if he's like, I saw these faces, and it's like, yeah, man, the prisoners are screaming at you.
That's probably true. So basically, I feel like he was just kind of tripping a little bit.
Yeah, we need to start attaching years to the ghost stories.
I know.
Not you.
Yeah,
I'm not criticizing you, but everyone else, because sometimes you'll read a ghost story, and I'm like, wow, this must have been really scary. Like in 1985 when this happened. And you're like, anyway, 1 year later in 2023, I'm like, this happened last year, fucking 2 years ago.
It was like when we did the Hoosac Tunnel, and that guy was like cleaning the tracks or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were like, is this 1800?
Yeah.
And it happened to be like 1970.
Yeah, he's like, I was listening to Roundabout by Yes, and we're like, whoa.
What the hell? Lastly, we have Cell Block 6.
It has been said that if you enter Cell Block 6 at Eastern State...
Dude, the numbering was so confusing.
I know.
Because I was like, I thought we did 6 already, but we did 4. We did 12, 4, 6. Holy shit.
It is said that if you enter Cell Block 6 at Eastern State, you will see shadowy figures dart along the walls or slide quickly across
Why are
them.
they saying it like this one's unique?
There's
a crazy legend here that's the same as the other two. Like, yeah, man, the whole prison's got shadow figures. They're sliding around.
I'm actually picturing this one, like, you know, in like shallow water in like a pond or something, you see like the little tiny fish, or bugs or anything.
The little water bugs that like
the water bugs, but also like there's like little tiny fish that like are dark and they look kind of like shadows and they skitter around. That's what I'm picturing in this cell block.
Yeah, I guess I like that each cell block has its own kind of
behavior.
Apparition. Like, this is the faces one, this is the locksmith trouble one, this is the shadows.
They all have shadows, but this one has a lot.
You get like do you all have the same hauntings, but you get like a dominant haunt at each location?
Yeah. That way they're all connected still.
Yeah. There needs to be like a thematic presence of the whole thing.
The spirits appear as haunting black silhouettes. However, they're not confined to that area and have been seen making their way along the walls throughout the penitentiary.
Okay, so they're saying that Cell Block 6 is the source of the shadows.
Okay, so all the shadows get
They're
from
all-
there. Okay. Also, you can't describe the figures as haunting. That's cheating.
Yeah, that
You
is
can't be
kinda
like
cheating.
these scary shadow man. Like, you have to use other words.
Picture the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Close your eyes. You're in a haunted prison. The ghosts are real. They're kicking you in the nuts.
Oh no, I'm so scared now.
Isn't that terrifying?
Throughout all the most haunted cell blocks, visitors have felt a great darkness they can't explain. People have mentioned hearing strange voices, feeling cold spots in certain areas, and even
standing in a private courtyard. It's so cold here suddenly. It's 20 degrees out.
It's the winter time. There's a draft.
There's the strangest building of all time has a separate private courtyard that's blowing in the air.
They even feel the feeling, I added the feel just to add some context, even the feeling of being touched or scratched by a dark entity.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, that's not. But the cold spots are the people who were stuck to the wall and made into ice people that have drifted into the prison now because of spectral drift.
Wow.
So it's been like 8 years, and they've moved 36 feet to the right, and now they're like in the bathroom of the prison when you're trying to take a piss because you had too many donuts and you drank too many beers in Philadelphia. Now you gotta go.
And
You just came from a Phillies game and you had 11 beers.
you got bought too much chocolate at Hershey Park. So
Gonna go puke after 9 roller coasters in a row.
So this prison actually closed its doors in 1971.
As a prison.
As a prison.
Yeah.
Prisoners were transferred elsewhere. They didn't just close it and leave the prisoners there.
This makes me feel like Gary's story was like at least the 50s or something, right?
50s, maybe even like the 80s or something.
Well, it feels kind of modern, but I guess if it was, I am confused. I don't know. Maybe they need them to lock for some reason, but I feel like if you are a prison that just gives tours, you don't need to fix the locks on the doors. The doors can just not lock.
I guess maybe they want to lock them shut so people don't go in them, but like, I don't know.
If they never lock, you don't have to worry if they go in, then they can just leave. I guess if you're worried about people like
structural concerns or something.
I suppose.
That's the only reason I can think
honestly,
of that.
well, you should probably write this down. I should genuinely ask the people when we go there.
That's a good idea. So the property was actually abandoned for the next 20 years. So I guess it wouldn't have been the 80s. It probably would have been the 90s. Fun fact, in the 1980s, city planners and real estate developers revisited the prison and found out that it was not only overrun with vines on the inside and out, but they also found a colony of feral cats inside.
Oh, yeah.
In 1994, the property was bought by a nonprofit.
The year I was born.
Holy shit, me too.
Wow.
They renovated the building and reopened it as a museum and tourist attraction. They are still doing that to this day because we will be going there.
They're still doing that in a week, baby.
I hope so. Honestly,
tour type shit.
I mean, like seeing pictures of it, it doesn't really look that renovated, but I think that was intentional.
I think it's got to be
They wanted
like,
to keep it a little bit, you know.
I've never known a landlord to do good renovations, frankly. We get there, every light switch is just painted over.
Oh, no.
Like,
what if that is? We'll take some pictures of that if that's true.
We find no ghosts, but hundreds of OSHA violations.
This is a segment that, like, it's happened so many times that I feel like it's just going to be a part of the episodes now. Is it a business interest?
Well, this one for sure, like, definitely. I guess my question is, do you have any record of the haunting part of it before they bought this?
Before they bought it.
Because 1994 is, like, unfortunately all of the internet.
True.
So I'd be really curious if people thought of this prison as haunted before then.
We would have to find like some books or something, which is...
I hate finding books.
Me too.
I hate libraries. I hate reading. Honestly, even just hearing the lie from the business people would be fine for me.
Yeah.
Some girl who's being paid $19 an hour is like, oh yeah, it was. And she has some fake story from the 40s or whatever the fuck. You know, that's fine. I'll take it.
So,
but yeah, I'm always curious, like when how much of this is like internet amplification and how much of this is like it never was a thing before the internet. I sort of wonder like when exactly it started, like the moment someone first heard about it, you know, or whatever, because it's always interesting to me of like how old ghosts are. I feel like ghosts are newer than people think, almost sometimes.
Well, Shakespeare did write about specters.
No, I know, but like
the actual ghosts of America.
Yeah, just all the way ghosts work. I feel like every time I think a ghost is going to be like really old, they're like, anyway, the girl died in 1993.
Yeah.
You're like, huh? You know,
she would have been a year older than me.
But like, what, you know, and it just feels like it's like, oh, this 1700s is a safe time to say this is where the ghost is from.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Because we don't know a lot about that time.
Exactly.
Our schools didn't teach us.
We're so stupid.
Our schools didn't teach us.
We're so stupid. And also, like, it's funny to imagine a ghost who's mad about the price of stamps or whatever. It was like all they had going on back then.
Well, so my assessment of this is that even though they're a nonprofit, they're still a business. On their website, they...
nonprofit doesn't mean anything, for the record. I hate nonprofits.
I was going to show you their website, though. It's very modern.
It seems like they do other stuff.
It's well kept.
You know?
It's very historical. So, like, they really do lean into, like, that it's a historical educational museum.
Yeah, and they have, like, a justice education thing. So, clearly they're talking about some stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
And they don't have any, like... ghost stuff really. They have a Halloween event.
Yeah,
but I like Halloween events. I'll let that slide.
Look, I just think the business interest is important to know. I don't think it doesn't make you evil for having a business interest.
Yeah,
unless you're the catfish restaurant.
The catfish.
That was sort of evil behavior.
Plantation.
No, it's one of those things where like having a historical site and then having a part of your tour be like, we're going to talk about the ghosts to get people to show up, and then we're going to tell them about how fucked up the penal system in America is. Just whatever you can do to get information in people's heads. So I sort of support that.
Okay, so the place is creepy looking. They lean into that a little bit, and they do offer like private rentals for like podcasts, photo and video shoots, events, pretty much anything. And then they do explicitly state that they don't offer ghost tours.
Yeah.
but they definitely benefit from people thinking they're.
I'm sure they talk about it a little bit on the tour itself of like, oh hey, like
Probably.
this is block 6. People sometimes see phases here, but this is where this happened. Whatever.
They very offhand, so they incept you with it, so you don't notice it.
I would like it if it's really boring for you guys. We go there thinking there's gonna be ghosts, and they just talk about the criminal justice system, and I'm locked in, and you are falling asleep.
Honestly, you
are snoozing.
I love abandoned places, and even though this is a museum, it looks really abandoned, so I'm still down for it.
Where does the love of abandoned places come from?
I have no idea.
You and the white women of America.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Love abandoned places.
I like liminal stuff.
Yeah.
I love the liminal feeling.
I think also the big spaces and like the liminality and that like new the unusual nature of a place that's been abandoned.
Yeah.
I think contributes to a lot of like the energy people feel, the ghost energy. Because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm just so not used to. I was staring at that light for so long. My eyes are fucking. I'm like
Oh,
blinking
no.
away. I was just deadlocked in on that light bulb. I can't see anymore.
I'm over here, Killian. I'm over here. Follow my
Sorry.
voice.
I was talking and just fully like counting the lights. God. Anyway, I think.
Am I gonna have to put like the blocker on there so you don't look in there?
Normally there's people here and I'm turning and looking at them, but it's just us, so I'm just staring straight at the light bulb. I should look at the camera if anything. I think that like the spaces being strange and that quality that you feel when something's liminal, that kind of stuff is all the same feeling. I think like I said, I think some people feel that as like an energy. They feel it very tactically, very physically, and I don't think everyone feels it the same way, but it's definitely, I think, a contributing thing to ghostly places is something about the structure that's unique or different than you're used to.
It feels like a little surreal, or like it's just like you said, it's not something you've seen before.
This is hard because not everyone has been, but if you've ever been to like your childhood elementary school at night.
Oh yeah,
and your brain is just so like,
it's scary.
Your brain is just like, what the fuck is this? Like it just and like no one's in the fucking child, but like your brain just can't comprehend this structure differently than you've known it, and it is genuinely kind of upsetting to your brain.
Yeah, my stomach would get a pit in it when we would have to come during vacation for like sports practice, and like the hallways are all dark.
And that's the school we still go to and know very well, and like, we're still in at the time, and it's still weird,
Yeah.
So imagine coming back to it, or like you've never even known the place, but you get that feeling without having the connection of like, well, I know this teacher's room is here,
Right.
Now you're just like, oh shit, I don't know any of this, but you're still getting that feeling of like, this place isn't how it's supposed to look, So I think that plays into it too.
Yeah. Well, Binker scale. I'm gonna give this. I guess I'll give it like a 2 or something.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's tough because like all of my scores morally are 1s. Like they all are 1s.
Yeah.
Like, I can't give higher than a 1 because nothing has ever seemed convincing. I want to give it a 2 just because it's like, yeah, it's scary.
Yeah,
the faces sound scary. I mean, I appreciate that there's like, it's a pretty constrained kind of haunting, right? Like it's just shadows and just faces. It's funny because the stuff you've said, like where you want the stories to be kind of believable, like you like that the stories are simple little haunts because that makes it feel more believable.
Yeah.
But to me, when it's something so simple, it's like, well, like the fact that there's shadows everywhere in the building just means it's a shadowy building. Like it's a building that has weird shadows because of how it was built, and people are just not used to it or whatever. Or like same thing, like the faces is like, the walls have clumps in them and people get freaked out by it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it makes me feel like there's some other thing. Whereas if it was like, oh, a man came and picked me up. And he went on my lips and then threw me. Like then it's like, oh, that's a crazy, like, yeah, like you definitely didn't think a wall was that. But with shadows, it's like you just shadow.
There's a careful balance there.
Yeah. So I guess begrudgingly 1.
Oh shit.
1 out of 10. Maybe I'll talk to the people and I'll be like, wow, I was so wrong.
I forgot to specify just for any new junior or senior binkers. 1 means fully binked, no ghosts. 10 means unbinked, all ghosts.
Right. Yeah. And the if you're brand new starting out here, we've been on a real heater of giving 1s lately. It's been a lot of 1s flowing.
I've been really disappointed with myself.
Yeah. I think the aggregate guess scores are getting lower too, which is tough. Maybe the collective ghost in all of us is dying away.
I think so. A little spoilers for next week.
Wow.
We have a grassroots ghost story. This is a ghost story that is like from someone we know, and it is there's like zero reason to make something up about it. It's from a trustworthy source. And
you know that like sentences like that are daring me to be like, Yeah, there is. Right? Like, sure there is, man.
I will say.
So anyway, fuck this story.
In this case, I don't know how I'm going to tell her that you said that about her story.
I'm not going to. Well, I don't know the story yet, so it could be good.
No, but so next week we will have something that at least I have believed in the past, so I can at least believe this one in the future, hopefully.
Yeah.
And that's it for this episode.
Look out for that.
Thank you to our junior and senior Binkers for listening to this episode. You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Ghost Binkers, or you can email us ghostbinkers@gmail.com. We would love it if you shared a story with us.
Oh, yeah.
Because I legitimately am so desperate for just like a story that, like, I just want like a first-hand story, because like all of these are like, it's been said that this thing happened, and I want someone to tell me something that happened to them. I don't even care at this point. I don't even care if it's believable. I care if it happened to you.
Honestly, if it's just long enough for us to make fun of for a while, that's fine.
And if you don't want us to bink it, we don't have to. I just really would respect a story that is firsthand.
Yeah, I am. You can turn me off.
There is an off switch.
You can put me into standby mode where I just let the story happen and don't make fun of it. That's very possible. I don't know if it's. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's great podcasting.
Well, I mean,
for the people, if you're sending it in, you might be making our podcast.
But
worse.
also, like, I would assume if you're listening to our podcast, you probably would want us to bink it.
Yeah,
I'll still believe it. I'll still believe it if we bink it.
So maybe if you don't want us to bink it, you do have to get a listener. You got to get a new person in to make up for the fact that you're kind of killing the vibe.
Well, that's a great transition, Killian. You got to tell a couple of friends about our podcast.
At least
a couple, if not more. And also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Yeah. If you work at like a store in the mall, put it on over the speakers.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and while the music's playing, just put them both on.
And just, why don't you have our website up on your phone, ghostbinkers.com. That's where you can go. If you didn't feel like doing any of this stuff manually, you can just go to ghostbinkers.com.
Yeah, put like a QR code link to our podcast like near the scanner for the phones for paying, so people might accidentally take a picture of it.
Ask them if they want to round up and donate and accidentally slip that in there instead. That's it for this episode. Thank you to the authors of these articles, which is really just U.S. Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
That's it.
You asked me like I knew. Yeah, definitely. I'm not allowed to read any of this stuff.
Yeah, U.S. Ghost Adventures. Thank you for the story. We'll link that in the Spooky Specimens. And that's it. We will catch you on the next episode, and we'll update you on what it was like to go to this prison.
See ya.
Bye.
One day our Patreon's going to get big enough, we're going to get a research assistant, and both of us are going to realize that ghosts are real, and you're just the worst researcher of stories of all time. You just can't find you're preternaturally bad at finding ghost stories.
That's actually really funny.
Someone else types it in and 100 great stories pop up, and she's like, wow, Trev, you fucked this up.
It's really funny that you say that, because I skipped over this in my pre-chat warm-up notes.
Yeah.
I have right here, maybe I just fucking suck at researching. Here, I'll show it to you, too. I'll show you just so you know. Yeah, I didn't type anything.
I do like that you're kind of having psychological breaks in your pre-show notes. No, I think you're fine. I think the sadder truth is that you're fine, and that the stories are just what they are.
Yeah.
And maybe feeling them is so different.